talk a little bit about my life and our lives as parents. And one thing that Christine didn't mention in my bio is I'm actually aspiring to be an expert in juggling. Because I mess up pretty much every day, and it was getting pretty bad. And I think all parents' life is a juggle, but it really shouldn't be a struggle. And that's what my life was when I was pregnant with my third child. And it wasn't my career as a psychiatrist treating adolescents with addictions and mental health issues, or my research or teaching at the university. It was my parenting that was depleting me. And I was overscheduling, I was over-hovering, I was over-protecting, and I was over-perfecting. And I knew it was wrong. My instincts were telling me this doesn't feel right. But when I looked around, everyone else was doing the same thing. So luckily, my instincts kept telling me, and they kept asking me this question, and I'm sure you all have a version of this question. For me, it went like this. How could my parents, poor immigrants, successfully raise 5 children? And I was having a hard time with 2.5 at the time. So my mom grew up in India, and she never went to school. And I don't mean university or college, I mean school. She never went to grade 1. And my dad could easily be the man you meet when you hire a taxi. My parents didn't follow any parenting style. They just did what came naturally for them. They kept us in the real world. We had part-time jobs. We helped around the house. We had problems we dealt with. And they never pampered, and they never hovered, and they never pushed. My mom couldn't help me with my homework because she couldn't read. And my dad taught me math in the front seat of his taxi. So I was in no scheduled activities. I played a lot. And this was so different from how I was raising my kids. And I decided to research this question. And I talked to a lot of parents, and I looked at the science, and I looked deep inside myself. And I realized the answer is fear. Today's parent is scared. We are scared of job security, child abduction, getting into university. And all of this has brought out what I call a little bit of the tiger in all of us. And tiger parents are not just Chinese mothers yelling at their kids to play the piano. Tigers come from all cultures and of all stripes, and I see them all the time in my practice. So I see parents pushing things like hockey, ballet, gymnastics, leadership, popularity. It's all the same because it's authoritarian parenting. And the helicopter parent who hovers is a tiger too, because they all take control away from the child and keep it in their hands. And all this that we call overparenting is actually underparenting, because it leaves our children underprepared for real life. So how did we get here, and what is the solution? This is what I talk about in my book. And of course, we don't need another trendy parenting style. That's not what the Dolphin Parent is. The Dolphin Parent is the one thing that will help all parents from all cultures with all children all the time. And that is our parental instinct. It's worked since the beginning of human history, and it will continue to work. This method, it's based on Mother Nature's method, and it's based on human biology. So our brains are really cool, and they release powerful neurochemicals when we do something we're supposed to do for our survival. So, for example, we are driven to sleep, and when we sleep, we feel great. The reward for the activity is the joyous feeling. Well, we are all driven to play, and in fact, our children are driven so irresistibly to play that they don't just feel great, their faces light up with joy. So when we think about this, why would Mother Nature reward us so heavily for play? Why is there so much dopamine being released when those kids play? When you think of the child who plays, she is learning so much. She's practicing trial and error. She's making mistakes. She's learning from them. She's thinking out of the box. She's imagining. She's dealing with uncertainty. And if she's playing with another child, she's learning to communicate and collaborate and have empathy and to connect. Now, these are all the skills that are identified as the 21st century skills. These are the soft skills that all the employers want. In fact, Yale University just added EQ testing to their MBA program admission. And there's a firm in California that found out that their engineers who didn't play couldn't problem solve. So they added a play history to their applications. So this is what the 21st century, there's these skills, they're called the 4 C's, and they're communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity. And play brings us all this. And this is what I mean where it's essential for our survival. Because the tiger kids who don't play, who are overstructured, they don't do very well. And I see it in my practice. They're not healthy, they're not happy. And in this ultra-competitive, highly charged, exquisitely social, globally connected 21st century, they're not successful. One stat I think that really shocked me was it's the first time in human history that being of a higher socioeconomic class is a risk factor for adolescent anxiety, depression, and addiction. So I think now more than ever, we want to shake off this controlling, authoritarian tiger and embrace the 21st century collaborative dolphin. So dolphin parenting is a metaphor. It's a metaphor for instinctual parenting, for a balanced way of life. Dolphins sleep, even though they're going to be attacked by sharks, they sleep 8 hours a day. Humans should be able to do the same. And it's a metaphor for the attributes of the dolphin, which is highly collaborative, highly collective communicators who are playful and joyful. So the dolphin is not a controlling tiger, but it's also not a spineless jellyfish parent, a permissive parent. They balance and they give guiding and role modeling as part of their parenting style. It's actually quite simple, but simple does not mean easy. A lot of things in life that are simple are not easy, like getting enough sleep. So I'm really excited about my book coming out, and I hope that you will embrace the dolphin. I did, and it really changed my life. It changed my home, and I think it's going to change the trajectory of my own children. So thank you very much. Come and talk to me later. I would love to hear more and hear your thoughts.